Well, nearly half of all pregnancies globally are unintended, according to a report by the United Nations Population Fund.
Yeah, yesterday it was announced that women across England will be spared the inconvenience of having to make a GP appointment in order to obtain contraceptives themselves.
But what about men? How close are we to a male pill?
Well, testosterone is the first male birth control product that has progressed past the initial stages of the clinical trial process, and it's currently being tested on human participants. But the big question today is this: would you trust a man to take the male pill?
Well, joining us now to debate this, a health and social affairs editor at the Sunday Express, Lucy Johnston, and author of Stand Behind Your Manhood, Peter Lloyd.
Superb stuff. Guys, let's start with you, Lucy, if we could. Pete, great to see you, mate. Let's start with you, Lucy, if we could. How does this work? Is it a pill or what? Do you put it... What is it?
Well, actually, I hadn't even read about this yet, so I didn't know much about it. I've read much, so they've been trying to do this for decades, and the problem has been side effects. It's very difficult to men produce millions and millions of sperm, and it's very difficult to prevent that. And so all the trials so far, participants have dropped out and they've been stopped because of side effects. Women have complained that there are side effects of the female contraceptive pill, but no such luxury was afforded them when they suffered those during the trials of those pills back in the day. So I think it stops the testosterone. I think it stops the sperm from growing temporarily, and I think it's reversible. I think that's been the problem to date, that these drugs that have been trialled so far have not been reversible.
OK, so Peter, this comes on to you now. As a man, would you want to take the male pill? Is that the sort of thing that guys should be doing? After all, women have been doing it since the 60s. Is it now men's turn?
Yeah, I've long said that the male pill is going to be an absolute game changer for blokes, and I believe that because it will be the first time in history it will allow them to control the outcome of their sexual experiences. At the moment, women are deciding when men become fathers, and I think that is ludicrous in 2023. Men should be deciding when they become fathers, not women. Women can decide when they become mothers, that's fine, but I do not want women deciding when men become fathers, and currently that's what happens, and it doesn't always happen ethically. Often, women decide that men are going to become fathers when it's convenient for them, not when it's convenient for the man.
I think what lots of women would argue is that if you allow men to take the male pill, if that's an option for men, they might accidentally forget, and actually it might be men deciding when women become mothers with all of the emotional and physical upheaval that obviously entails.
Peter?
Well, look, even if that happened and women became pregnant, they could still choose to have an abortion, or they could still choose to, give their child up for adoption or whatever. But this always makes me laugh when I hear this argument, because it's like, oh, would we trust men to take the pill? Excuse me? Men have had to trust women to take the pill for the last 60 years. So quite frankly, ladies, welcome to our world.
Lucy, what do you say to that?
Well, I think you have a good point, and I do know a man who was tricked. Women said they were taking the pill, and he now is paying for a child that he never wanted. So that does happen. But essentially, I think people have to trust each other. It's not about men and women. About 9 in 100 pregnancies, when women are on the pill, there are about 9 in 100 pregnancies that do happen, and that's partly because they're not taking it properly. So each person has to take control of their own body. If they don't trust the other person, then they have to do something to make sure they don't get pregnant. If you meet someone in the bar, then is a very different thing from having discussion with a long-term partner about what you want to do about contraception. So it is a good thing that you can have a discussion, and then the onus can be on either partner to do it. But I think in the end, it's about taking control of your own body.
OK, Peter, mano a mano, if I could talk to you.
Women.
Peter, mano a mano, do you think a lot of blokes would be happy with the idea of something which interferes with their bits? Because, isn't that intrinsically linked to how we define our masculinity, how we are as men? So for the right men, it's a choice. But do you think this will catch on in the mainstream?
Yeah, I think there might be some reticence initially, as maybe in the first year or two, but I think very, very quickly it would galvanize and people would become accustomed to the idea. And once they felt it was safe and they realized the benefits it would afford them, then I think it would just be a game changer and it would very quickly become very, very popular.
Lucy, do you think this is actually a really good opportunity for women? I mean, we've been hearing more and more in the last few years of all the side effects of the female contraceptive pill, issues with mental health, issues with long-term decline in fertility, etc. Could this be a real opportunity for women to get control back of their own fertility?
I think it could be, absolutely, but I think it is something that each partner has to think about and discuss, and each person has to think about and discuss. And actually has been a little bit of work done on this, and about 50% of men say they would take a male contraceptive pill. So that's what the surveys show. Although, having said that, about 50% of women say they don't trust men would remember to take it. So, it would take a little bit of getting used to. Actually, more men said they would remember to take it than women thought. So, there is a discrepancy between, what people are thinking about each other. So, in the end, I think, it's a great step forward because it just gives more options, doesn't it?
OK, in a debate about men's issues, I think, Peter, we have to leave the last word to you.
Yeah, guys, man up, take the pill when it comes available and it'll change your life. You can have as much sex as you like and you won't have any children.
Well, there you go. What's not to like about that? When you put it that way, Peter Lloyd, thank you very much. And Lucy Johnston, superb debate. Let us know what you think out there. It's a debate that I'm sure is going to get people going. It is about trust, but also it's about control. And if you're in a relationship, a monogamous relationship, and, why should the woman be the one to take the pill for all those years? And maybe it's the bloke's turn.
Well, absolutely. And I think sometimes in a relationship, the man is the more organised one than the woman, perhaps, and can be a bit more trusted to remember every day to take the pill. And if that's the case, why shouldn't it be him who has the responsibility?
Well, you said men are more organised and can be more trusted than me. If I said that,
occasionally, not
I'd
always.
get in trouble for sexism. Let's move. Great debate. Let us know what you think. Let's move on now.